Another exhibition game in the books. The regular season drawing closer and closer, but not close enough just yet, is it? Welcome to Got Your Back, folks. Oilers with a rock-solid win. Some pretty good performances tonight. How about Calvin Pickard? Has put up some nice performances so far tonight. Happy to be joining you here, folks. Struds, you're going to have to jump in right away here, bud, because once again, I'm rolling on my way back to Sherwood Park. And I think we're going to be okay here. They got the old check stop set up, which no issue at all. I'm safely on a hands-free here. But I don't know if you guys recall last year, I got pulled over for the breathalyzer on the check stop on the way into Sherwood Park mid-podcast. So rough timing tonight, buddy, but I managed to go through it. No issues at all. Not that I was concerned other than for the pod, Struds, but happy to be rocking and rolling here tonight. Sorry for the awkward start, folks. And Struddy, the show is always brought to you by our fantastic title sponsor, Timberhouse Developments.
Evening, everybody. It's Dreams Design Build Service. It's this commitment to process that helps their team create some of the finest custom homes in Edmonton. If you're thinking of a garden suite, infill development, or a fully custom home, talk to Timberhouse. If you can dream it, they can build it. With a full team of in-house designers and decades of construction experience, they bring your ideas to life, from slides hidden inside kitchen islands to garden suites for aging parents to stunning estate homes and everything in between. Visit timberhouse.ca.
Dynamite. I'm in the mobile Timberhouse studio. My actual Timberhouse studio is going to get a little upgrade here in the next week or so. So looking forward to that. They're going to come out and freshen things up a little bit, Struddy. I got to keep up with you, all the hard work you put in on yours. So looking forward to it. And thanks again to Timberhouse as our title sponsor. It's funny, Struddy, like I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm really not. Like I'm on a hands-free. I'm perfectly safe. Yet for some reason, I'm just like panicking when I see the police. It's like they're going to catch me, but I'm like, I haven't had a drop to drink, and I'm not doing anything wrong, but I don't know. Do you get that same feeling too? I don't know. Like maybe I'm hiding something. I don't know that I don't know I'm hiding.
You sound guilty, and that's really 9/10 of the law, sounding guilty. So just relax. You're on hands-free. You're driving. You're not drinking. Yeah. It's just cruise through.
I'm good. I'm going to be okay. One of these times I'm going to get pulled over, and I'll see if the fine officer wants to, I'll interview him about the game if they happen to be listening to it on the radio or something like that. Steve Taylor is manning the controls tonight. Steve, how you doing tonight, bud?
Good, boys. I got, you can't see Shogger, but behind me, I installed some paneling right behind me during that game, actually. It's a nice thing to do during
How does it look, Struds? Is he up to speed for our Timberhouse studio standards?
It's really nice. I noticed it as soon as I jumped in. It looks really, really sharp, Steve. Well done, man.
Oh,
thanks, buddy.
Nice. Can't wait to get home and get a close look at that. So Steve's along for the ride tonight. Remember, folks, if you're joining us on the live stream, make sure you send in your questions for Ask Us Anything, and Steve will be grabbing those, and we'll go over some of the best ones. We're expecting Rob Brown to join us in a little bit here. He's finishing up the show over on 880 Ched. Before we get going, those Struds, should probably acknowledge tough day for the Elks organization and the CFL family yesterday with the passing of Elks owner Larry Thompson, just 64 years of age. Had the opportunity to interview Larry when he bought the team and they made the announcement. Very nice gentleman. We're thinking a lot about his family right now. Sounds like the family's going to keep the legacy alive and keep it going. They've only been CFL owners for just over a year, Struds, but they've put a dent in this thing. They've done some good early work in rebuilding that trust with the community and the organization between the two sides. That's what Larry wanted, and it was sad news yesterday.
It was a real shocker. You know, you start the week with the passing of Zilly Podkolson's father, and that's very upsetting for for everyone, but the sporting community. Then you find out this yesterday. So yeah, I feel terrible for his family. And the Elks, it feels like they're going in the right direction thanks to his effort. He was out there and his team was figuring this out and building up a new group. So I'm sure that the commitment to continue down the path that he started them on will be there.
But he wasn't the owner for very long, but he created one of the all-time moments in, in Edmonton Eskimo and Elks history. So I'm working on the sidelines last year, one of the first games with him as owner, and it's against the Stampeders. And what they were doing is when they scored a touchdown, Larry was supposed to drive the fire truck around the track. And I'm sitting there watching this happen, and I said to the controller, I'm like, are you guys getting this? And they're like, what? I'm like, get on the fire truck right now. Well, Larry and his wife was in there with him. I think Larry zigged when he should have zagged. And all of a sudden, the owner of the Edmonton Elks is driving the fire truck through the Stampeder bench on the sidelines. I was dying laughing. And he just, just like honk, honk, I'm coming through they had to vacate the sidelines. Dave Dickinson was furious. It was an iconic moment. So we ended up getting the video. And then I did an in-game hit telling the story. And then they actually took that in-game hit and they turned it into an in-stadium promotion. And they had like, we roll in and hate it. They had that song going. And what is it, Riding Dirty or whatever it's called? And they put the sunglasses on them and everything. It was just an absolute classic moment. So hopefully we'll be able to relive that moment in stadium every game. Just a beauty of a moment from Larry Thompson.
Yeah, that's great. Fantastic. And part of me wonders if it wasn't intentional, right? Like he's like, we're here. This is what we're doing. He's driven a car before.
Yeah. He did more in, a couple of months. Like, get Dwayne Mandrusiak back into the fold, for goodness sakes, which he's been able to do, and drive the fire truck through the Stampeder bench. Check mark, check mark. You're in blue-collar Oiler country and out country. They're going to love you. So anyways, condolences and thoughts with the Thompson family tonight. Struds, we need to get to the breakdown. Lots to talk about tonight. Some good performances, some people we're keeping an eye on. So let's get to it, courtesy our friends at the Canadian Brewhouse.
During every Oilers game day at the Canadian Brewhouse, enter at any Edmonton and area location for your chance to win Oilers home game tickets. Plus, enjoy $1 off Molson Canadian and Coors Light tankards. Edmonton-born, Canadian-operated, 48 locations across Canada. That's Canadian Brewhouse.
Love it. Was in there the other day for a little bit of lunch. Got a great menu. Tried a few different things. And looking forward to trying out other parts of the menu maybe next week at some point. Okay, Struds, I think coming out of Noah Philp's previous game, we were talking about him distinguishing himself, separating himself from the pack a little bit. I think we definitely need to get to him. Now, I know Zuby's not sitting at the controls tonight, but I think maybe in his honor, we should at least give a tilt of the head to the goaltender, Calvin Pickard, who's been real good here in preseason. And I know it's only preseason, but anytime a guy comes in and does what he's done so far, what is it, two claps and a yippee or whatever? Are you ready to give Calvin Pickard that? 2 claps and a yip yip?
He's just trolling you. He's trolling you at this point, Struds.
Yes. So let me, just so I'm clear, you're asking me to give 2 claps in a row to a veteran who's beating up on half-decent teams. Is that correct? Just so I'm clear?
Well, you got to stop the pucks. You got to make the stops. I mean, you got to go in there and do your job and do it well. And he's gone in there and done it about as well as he can do it. So I don't know. You're diminishing it. No big deal. Who cares? Whatever.
I mean, Connor Leon or -3. Are we worrying about that?
No. I think it's a little different, isn't it? Not stressing over a poor performance versus acknowledging 2 claps and a yip for a good performance. I mean, I think that's in different boxes, aren't they? Tough crowd tonight, Steve. Holy smokes.
No,
Zuby's mad. Is Zuby on the stream? No, Zuby's got to be chirping on the stream.
He's already just said 2 snaps and a zippity doo-dah. That's from
okay.
I
would do that.
He can leave the chat. That's just not. He knows it's 2 claps in a row. No, listen. I when a veteran NHLer has a good game in exhibition, do I get excited? No, I don't. Like Darnell Nurse, I think he has 4 points, doesn't he, in the preseason? Are we, going to anoint him, running for the Norris Trophy? I expect them to be better than their peers who are. Most of these guys are not. Half the team won't even be in the NHL. So So I'm not. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't get too excited. I can't.
Okay, that's good enough. Calvin Pickard, perfect. But anyways, so okay, I'll throw it out there for you then, buddy. You kind of stopped me in my tracks there. So okay, who do you want to talk about then? You go.
Yeah, I want to talk about the guys that are trying to make the team. Like I'm looking at Noah Philp. I said it after the last game he played. He made a statement. He made another statement tonight. If he wasn't the best Oiler, he was one of the best Oilers. At least I think of all the Oilers that are trying that have a good chance of making the team, I think he was the best. Szymanski was good, but I think it'd be unlikely that he's going to make it. But I loved his game again tonight. Scored a nice goal, nice setup by Stetcher, some nice moments. A bit of a tough night in the face-off, which on the dot, which is not ideal because I think he should strive to be 50% or better.
What was
night.
he?
I know it's hard.
I don't have the stats in front of me. What was he, buddy?
Yeah, he was 2-6, I believe. Let me just double check that. Sorry, 3-7, so 30%. And they had Nemestikov's. He's a pretty good center. Morgan Barron, I didn't realize he maybe had a good night. I didn't realize he was quite that good in the faceoff dot. But I really again, another check in the box for Noah Philp tonight. What did you see from him?
Yeah, no, I liked the way he was moving his feet. I thought he did some nice work on the penalty kill as well. The goal was nice because it wasn't just a banging it in at the side of the net goal. It was a get up in the rush. And the thing about that goal, Struds, that was on the tail end of a long shift. He was out there for quite a while. And normally when you get caught out there a little bit late, I think guys, especially trying to make the team, you play it safe and head off. And he didn't. He stayed out there, stayed with the rush, grabbed a puck, and then tired, made a nice shot. And that was a goal scorer's goal. So I loved that sequence from him because he stayed in it at both ends of the ice. So really good night for him. I thought of the guys that are the bubble boys had the best night as far as the forwards go. I mean, we had Ike Howard, Matt Savoy, Noah Philp, Tomaszek in there as well. And of those four, I would say, I thought that Savoy had some nice looks tonight. I'm sure you'll want to talk about him too. But I thought that Philp, again, did the most to solidify the spot he's fighting for.
I love the way he put that because it was like a true competition. Those guys were all playing against the same team with kind of the same complement of players around them. So it's literally an apples for apples comparison. And I thought Philp was the best. Interesting enough, Tomaszek was the third star, and he made a nice play on the goal. I don't know that I would have said he was the third star. I thought Savoy was a step above him. I thought Howard had some nice moments as well. He was kind of skating and using his speed. But yeah, I like it when they're all together in that moment competing against the same players.
Yeah, no, I agree, because then you can kind of get a feel in game for who is finding a way to make their mark, who's finding a way to get themselves noticed a little bit. And definitely another really, really strong night for Noah Philp tonight. And the thing to remember about Philp, as the Oilers whittle down the roster and have some decisions to make, is that Philp is going to need waivers to get down to the American Hockey League. And I think that the Oilers would be nervous about potentially losing him. What they don't want to do is have more promising guys who have not reached their ceiling yet exiting the organization unnecessarily. And so I think they're going to be sensitive to that, right? Raphael Lavoie was a little different. Lavoie had more runway to try and work his way into the Oilers lineup. He'd had more opportunity, and it sort of felt like he might be what he's going to be at this level. He might have already shown that. Whereas Philp, it feels like there's just a little more unknown there, Struds, with how far he can take it. And I think the Oilers are going to say, we want to be the ones to explore what that unknown might be with him, and not because of a numbers game or Curtis Lazar, what have you, not be the ones to get to see what that looks like.
Oh yeah, well said, really well said. And they're looking for a right shot centerman. I feel like Stan Bowman's talked about and expressed the desire to have a right shot centerman. So there's three of them, right? From Tomaszek, Philp, and then Lazar. So the competition is clear. One of them, I believe one of them's at least one of them's gonna make it and play in that position. And they want they want someone to step up and take it. And so far it's been Philp.
Tell me about Ike Howard's night through your eyes, Struds.
He's definitely, he's fun to watch. He's explosive. There's a rush toward the end of the game where he jumped and kind of got around the D-men, and that quick little back and forth and try to slide it through move that he has. He had 3 shots, a couple the missed the net. I like what I see. I think that there's something there to you can look forward to seeing. I think in Oilers room or in a Oilers dress room in Jersey one day. He's still trying to figure out, I think, the strength of the players and spacing. It feels like at times he's having to have tougher time finding open ice. I'd be wondering, Brownie, I think could speak a little bit better than that than I could. But, just finding that open ice because the guys are longer and taller and they take up space. And not all of them, but quite a few of these guys are NHL players. They understand how to be. So I would wonder if that spacing idea, I'm not sure if you saw that, but it's just a little bit harder, right? Guys are quicker and bigger.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think it's kind of about sort of looking for opportunities, and there just aren't as many, like opportunities to do something or to jump into a spot or to. I just think it's the speed of this thing is going to be greater than what he's used to. The players out there are going to be better than what he's used to. And it's going to take him a little bit of time to find his bearings and find those moments and find those soft spots. You can tell he wants the puck, right? He's always wanting it. He had the one that he tried to get away there on the power play that I think it was blocked, if I remember correctly. But he had a couple of nice looks, real good back check the one time. So he's clearly trying to not be a liability defensively, which I think is smart. So I would say it's another solid performance from him tonight, but not a step forward in terms of there's a question whether this player is going to start the year in the NHL, right? There is definitely a question as to whether or not that's going to happen. And I wouldn't say he took a big step towards that answer being yes tonight, but he didn't necessarily hurt himself. But at this point, Struds, you're kind of running out of games, and you might be hurting yourself by not helping yourself. You know what I'm saying? Running out of opportunities.
He is, and I feel like I know the answer to that. I feel like he's starting in the minors now. I don't want to crush a 20-year-old's dreams, but I think when you look around, look at the numbers, I think that he's a guy that will most likely start in the minors for the year, and I don't think that's a bad thing for him. You go down there, you develop, you can make mistakes down there, grow down there, away from kind of the bright lights of the NHL. Just like we saw with Matt Savoy. I believe Matt Savoy is a better player today and more complete player than we saw at this time last year when he was going through the same stages as Isaac Howard.
What did you think of Matt Savoy's night tonight?
Man, he's got a motor on him. He skates, gets in there, makes plays. And there's the penalty, and you kind of have to. He's a digger, like he will dig in there. And the hooking penalty got behind your net, or behind the offensive net. You don't like that, but he's on there. He's trying to get in there. He's trying to make a difference and get it. So I think that's a conversation like, hey, Matt, we want you to dig in, but you got to be careful where your stick ends up. Good game from Matt. I like Matt's game.
Using him on the penalty kill as well, and actually got a bit of an offensive look on the penalty kill. You love that speed when the opportunity comes his way. I do understand the point that you've made a couple of times about him on the PK, and is the stick long enough, right? Is he going to be able to get the stick in shooting lane, or get the stick in passing lanes while still standing in a shooting lane? Is he wide enough to be effective out there? But they've been trying him on the penalty kill. Chris Knobloch talked the other day about him being potentially a second unit power play and penalty killing guy, and finding him minutes in that way. They're viewing him through this lens, Struds. They're curious about this and created a little offense on the penalty kill tonight.
He did, and it's a great point you make. And I think they're trying. It's obvious they're trying to build up a way to get him extra ice time because they don't want him just sitting on the bench and not develop and grow, because that's the job. They've got to continue to grow this player. If you look ahead 4 or 5 years, could he be on the first line power play? Yeah, he could be. Now maybe it'd be sooner than that, but you know what I mean. Could he be on the penalty kill? Yeah, he's smart. Yamamoto killed penalties. He's bigger than Yamamoto. Now one thing guys do that there are players that use longer stick on the penalty kill just so they have a longer reach. And I had one at times. I take a longer stick out there just to kind of get on those passing lanes or just be disruptive. So
do you know? Sorry to interrupt, Struds. Do you know of forwards that have done that, or is that mostly for defense?
Yeah, you know what? I can't think off the top of my head. I'm sure it's been done before. I mean, it's not that crazy because I mean, maybe for Matt it'd be different because he's more of an offensive style player and he wants to take advantage of those opportunities. But
Yeah.
just that if it's an extra couple inches, you never know, right? It could just make all the difference. So it's maybe something you could look at because you look at some of the killers I had over the last number of years. They're quite long and fast, and he's fast, but not necessarily long like a McLeod or Fogel. Like just kind of go through the list of guys that have killed penalties in recent years. Janmark.
Yeah. So we've seen Mangiapane a couple of games now, and I was like the Henrique Mangiapane Savoy line. There's some things you like about that, but then at the same time, you're like, oh boy, like the water bug line, right? It's just so small out there. It's been a couple of games. What have you thought of Mangiapane? And again, sort of understanding he'll get that veteran benefit of the doubt. He needs to ramp it up for when it matters, and he's done this many, many times before. But what are you seeing out of him?
Yeah, I think it's a guy that is not easing his way in, but he's at his best when he has a little bit of an edge, and we haven't really seen much edge here from him. I know there was the one scrum, and I believe he was out there. I don't think much he was really involved in much of it. Seemed to be capping and kind of somehow got involved in after he scored the goal. But I think he's a guy that we'll see more of that out of him, and he'll bring that element out. Did score the goal last game. I mean, it was an amazing goal, but he scored it. So you can obviously, I think it's important to score in preseason if you're a scorer or want to be a scorer. But you're right about the line. I don't love the makeup of that line, and that'll be one of the challenges for this coaching staff because they are smaller. They're a smaller lineup than they had, when they had Evander Kane and Corey Perry and these bigger bodies, Mangiapane, Savoy, Ike Howard. They're not as big. Now they may be a little bit quicker, but they're not as big.
Where do you think Tomaszek is at in his Tomaszek? Sorry, is how we're supposed to say it. In his bid to be in the roster on opening night, whether it's the press box or on the ice, but on the roster come opening night. Like he's had some good moments, and there's some times where you're like, okay, yeah. I mean, he's bigger, and he's got some experience, and that shines through. Do you think he's fast enough to be effective when this gets ramped right up to full speed? I'm not sure.
Yeah, and you can kind of tell that your point's being well made about the speed when he's almost he's off the rush, and at times he's kind of leaning into guys to slow them down from taking the puck from him. He's not skating away from them. He's interfering with them so they can't get the
knowing
puck
that he's going to be caught, right? Knowing he's going to be caught, and so leaning back into him.
Yeah, that's a really good way of saying it. So 100% Shogger. So and these aren't full-on NHL player speed demons. What does that look like when it's Scheifele, the center he's playing against, or Quinton Byfield, or whoever? As there were not big moments, but there are moments when I felt he needed to win a draw, and he lost a draw. He had a tough day in the draw, on the dot as well. I think he was 3-6. Let me take a look here. They all kind of, he was 2-6. So 25%. And I know that it's at this small sample side. I get all that. But at the same time, you're trying to earn the fourth line center spot. You're a veteran player who's played a lot of pro hockey. You should probably be taking some of these guys at least 50-50 at times. And it can be unfair, but there were some there. The ones I remember were clean wins. Clean. This wasn't a face-off where the winger didn't jump in, Shoggy.
Yeah, and I think those are details that you really want that guy to be dialing in. Noah Philp right now has outplayed him and established himself more firmly than Tomaszek has, and I think they would probably consider him at the wing spot, maybe further up. Maybe it's the speed of trying to play center. I know they're trying it. I know probably that's where he prefers, but maybe the fallback position here in some of these next games is to try him out a little bit more on the wing and see how that goes. But it's interesting to watch this battle, and good on Noah Philp for coming in here and really doing a nice job with the opportunity. He talked earlier today, Struds. I was listening to him on the Ched pregame show, and one of the things that he said to Brendan was asking him, what are the things you need to make sure you're doing? And he said, I just can't cheat the game. I can't cheat the game, and I got to be good on my details. And I like the way that he put that, because when you watch him play tonight, it's like every detail matters. Like there was that one time in his own end, he's battling for a puck and kind of behind, but he sort of slashed it away, then took 2 quick strides, and then slashed it past another guy, and then whacked it over a teammate that was breaking out. And it's just like those are the details that he's not cheating.
So, in a nutshell, what he's saying is he wants to be very trusted by his coaching staff. No one, because if the coach staff doesn't trust him, they're not going to put him or his line out there much. But if he can trust you to not get scored on, then the bonus is the offense that they can create, and he's showing that. But you don't want to get that situation where like, well, yeah, they might score first, but they might also give one up. No, they want to be. We know that these 3 players are responsible defensively. We're going out and we're going to be able to, maybe we start in our own zone and we're able to get it out, and then we go down and we can score on the other end. But it can't be we're trying to score, but we can't defend our own end. That's the role of the 4th liner.
Yeah. Well, good on him. Okay. I'm getting home here, Struds. So
okay, buddy.
I'm going to hop inside. You take care of the YouTube poll and the relentless player. I'm guessing it's not going to be Calvin Pickard. Just going out on a limb there. And we'll check back in. More to talk about, including Josh Brown and such from this game tonight, but we'll talk a little Darnell Nurse as well. So Struds, take it from now, and I'll see you at the home office.
All right. Relentless Player brought to you by UCAN Youth Services, an Edmonton charity relentless about helping 16 to 24-year-olds step out of harm's way and into meaningful work. Make that change today right here at home. Visit ucan.ca. So, Steve, I think we're alone now, finally. So I'm going to take this to the Blue Jays. I can't stop watching these guys, and they basically have to win every game. They had their magic number is 3. I believe after tonight's win, it's down to 2. And Nathan Lucas helped that happen today. 3 RBIs and a home run. Obviously, that's a big one for them. They win 4-2. The Yankees also win. They double up on Baltimore 8-4. But the Blue Jays magic number is now down to 2. So that's whether the Yankees lose 2 games or the Jays win 2, they clinch the division.
Yeah, they're certainly keeping it interesting. It's fun.
Man,
it's fun to be on the outside looking in. I'm not a big Jays guy, but I have a lot of buddies that are, and man, it's just fun watching them squirm right now.
Oh, it's crazy. It's so much fun, but they're so much fun to watch. So,
yeah.
I mean, we don't have a lot of runway here to talk about Blue Jays before the Oilers season starts, but let's hope they go deep into October. We can bring it up, and they're a fun team. I really, really like this team, the way that they play for each other and with each other.
Absolutely.
Right, so now your time to shine as we get into the Weiss Johnson Heating and Air Conditioning. Sorry, that's not them. That's the YouTube poll. Sorry, is brought to you by DeBoer's Golf Shop and Fitting Center. Like I said last show, if they can get Rishaug to shoot below 80, you should be sprinting over to our good friends at the Fitting Center. And now's the best time to get fitted. Your swing is at its best, at your best, just like our buddy Rishaug. Fall clearance is on. Huge savings on apparel and footwear now. Go down to 5311 99th Street in Edmonton. Tell them, give me the Rishaug. Give me the Rishaug.
Do whatever you did for him. Do it for me.
Yeah, like
too.
It seems, I don't know if it's the gear, the clothes, the balls, confidence, whatever. Just give it to me.
Give me the Rishaug.
What do you got for us, buddy?
Okay, so here's what I came up with tonight. And admittedly, I haven't listened to every podcast, so hopefully you guys haven't talked about this already. Okay. But what I was wondering watching the game tonight was, with Hyman injured right now, and obviously, Perry gone, Jeff Skinner gone. I'm wondering who's going to be the 5th player on the Oilers power play to start the season.
Oh, good one.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously we'll have we'll have Bush and Nuge and Leon and McDavid. So the question is, who will the 5th be? The 4 names that I came up with are Kapanen. He did spend a little bit of time on there last season. Okay. Frederick. I could see that happening. Nurse, if they decide to go with 2D again and do that. Or I put Savoy as a 4th.
Wow, that is a really good question. Honestly, it's something I haven't even thought of. I've been looking so much further down the lineup. Not down the lineup, but just at these newer players that we kind of talked about. Geez, that's a really, I think it's going to be Trent Frederick.
Yeah.
That's what I think. That's my opinion. What do you think it is?
I think it might just be Kapanen.
Okay.
But yeah, Frederick wouldn't surprise me in the least.
So what would be his, I guess, is Kapanen in front of the net player? I guess because really that
Right. That's the big
when
question.
I think of Hyman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hyman's job is to, redirect pucks in front, retrieve pucks that go, below the goal line, pass it back up to whomever and get back in front.
Right.
Can he do that? I mean, can he do it? Yeah, of course anyone can do that, but can he do it well and do it consistently?
That's exactly what I was trying to think of. Who would be the guy most realistically to take on that role?
Well, it's something to ask Brownie when we get in there. So, we got Schauger back. Just quick one for you, buddy. The poll is a great question today. Basically, it's with Hyman out until he returns. Who will be the fifth player on that?
To start the power play at the start of the season?
And question, so it's Kapanen, Frederick, Nurse, or Savoy. Who do you see as that player?
You're muted, I think, Schauger.
I think you're
really
muted.
good. Yeah, it's a really good question, buddy. I would say, like, my gut would be, I might naturally lean a little bit more towards Savoy because that's who offensively you would think would be next on deck in that situation. Mm-hmm. Probably need to consider Mangiapane in here a little bit too. I know
that's
he's not
already on the stream.
Yeah, I would throw that one in there probably. Nurse going the 2D route, that's interesting. That's a good thought. Kapanen saw some time there before, just in spot duty here and there, and he's got some skill. Savoy, Hyman's a big body, right? And Hyman does a certain thing. I don't know, Nugent Hopkins and Savoy out there, it's kind of like, I don't know if you need both those two. So I probably, on this list here, I probably would lean with Frederick as well, but I'd put Mangiapane in there too as an honorable mention, I'd say.
Yep.
Okay.
Agreed.
Great, buddy. All right, we got it all done, man. If you want to pause here quickly, then we'll come back.
Yeah, rock and roll. Quick break. We'll be back in a minute here on Got Your Back, presented by Timberhouse Developments. Nice job, Struds. Water and Sewer specializes in sewer line repair and replacement using advanced trenchless methods for fast, clean results. They provide detailed sewer assessments and scoping to identify problems before they become costly. Serving both residential and commercial properties, no job is too big or too small, and with over 40 years of experience, they've seen it all. Trust Mainline to keep your lines flowing smoothly. Oh, yes, baby. Love it. Earlier in the show, it's working its way up. Zuby had it buried a little further back. Steve brings it in right after the breakdown before takeaways. The Got Your Back retro theme. I'm not kidding you guys. I was talking to Harman Batty today, and, he said, you guys need to consider making that your theme music this year, like making this a full-on intro.
Harminator.
What do you think, guys? I mean, it's aggressive, but boy, this is so good.
It's so good, but I think we got to leave them wanting more. It's something to look forward to in each episode.
Yeah, I think Harman's jumping the gun. He's jumping the gun a bit there.
Harman's getting ahead of himself. We'll talk about Harman in just a second. Actually, is he on Struddy's World tonight? No, it's DLR tonight. But we're going to talk about Harman in just a minute because he's seen Struds at the gym and had a few observations. Time now for takeaways, brought to you by HSE Core Services. Need a safety program? Well, they build it. If you need that safety program managed properly, well, they can do that. If you're stuck dealing with those online safety registries that your clients make you sign up for, yeah, they can handle those too. And yes, they also do core audits. If you own a business, if you have employees, you know exactly what I'm talking about right now. hsecore.com is the website. They can help you out. That's www.hsecor.com. So Tom Lesko from HSE Core always beats up Struddy on the tennis court. Harman from Body Realty apparently competes with Struddy in the gym. So I was chatting with Harm today, and he said he sees you around the gym often, Struds, and that you're not afraid to be on the prowl, making sure everybody's aware that that's your gym and they're in your space and that you take up a lot of oxygen in there and you're pretty intimidating. Just the broad shoulders. You're that guy in the gym.
Yeah, and that's fair. And listen, like when I'm done warming up, that's when Harmon uses those weights. And then I go to the big boy weights and move those around. So usually we're not in the same area of the gym. Once I'm done with the resistance bands, I give them to Harm.
And he does his bicep curls. His curls for the day.
Bench press with the broomstick and the resistance bands.
Yeah, and he knows Tom too as well. He talked about how you and Tom are real big swimmers. You and Tom hit the pool together often. Yeah, do some swimming in the pool. Yeah. Harm's not a swimmer.
Yeah, no, sinking. He would sink. But yeah, no, Tom's a good athlete. Like, and we have tennis on Monday together. He wasn't there last Monday. I think he got a little gun shy because I was coming in pretty hot. But Monday, I feel like I'm going to be taking it off. There's 4 of us in the class: Darren, Renee, Tom, and myself. And Tom's by far the best player, by far.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, anyways, it was good to see Harm today. By the way, I do think he takes the gym a little more seriously than I do, because he actually said, I got in a great lift today. It were words he used, right? So I think you need to be a pretty significant gym goer to be able to classify what you went there and did as a lift. I got a good lift in. Like, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and brag or anything, but I mean, I worked out today too. I lifted some weights and stuff, but by no means would I call what I did as getting in a lift, Struds.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's really, really true.
Enough said. I love having your buddies as sponsors on the show because they're just so eager to send me chirps and just rip you to shreds. Okay, let's keep going. A little bit more to break down from that game. Let's talk about Josh Brown. So the guy doesn't lose many fights, Struds. He really does. And he's such a good he's a good scrapper, and certainly respect the willingness, and he's tough, and he's always going to show up. But on this particular night, I would say, I don't know if he got a bad grip in there or whatever. He ended up taking a few, didn't want to just punch the helmet. Like, I don't know. What did you make of that, of the way that went?
It was, I would say, what I saw, it's funny you said, I thought it was a bit of an awkward setup he had. He didn't really have either hand tied up. He was almost grabbing kind of the middle of it. And even at one point towards the fight, he kind of let go of his left hand and just kind of put his hand up to try to defend himself against a fight. And those fights happen where you get into a fight and you just can't get set. You can't get, your grip right. And anyone who plays tennis or golf or anything where you're kind of, you got to get set, hockey, anything. And he just didn't look comfortable at all in that fight. And, I looked up the guy Bauer. He looks like this guy's been in a few fights. So obviously that's part of what he's doing, is making it uncomfortable. But you're right. I usually see Josh Brown be very aggressive and kind of the instigator of the fights. And I'm not sorry, how can I say that right? Like the leader in the fight, like just kind of the one controlling it. And we didn't see that tonight. So I think you almost got to give Bauer some credit on the other side.
For sure. Mars Boy says the Stortini arm block. Yes. Zach always had the arm up.
He did like that.
Yeah, no question. Struds, anything else you want to dig in on the game tonight, or you feel like anybody else catch your eye or anything worth mentioning? We'll go over a couple things with Brownie too when he hops in. But before I move on, just wanted to check in on that.
Yeah, I think that of the people that we're going to see push forward, like for those of you who don't know, there's a number of cuts like yesterday, today, whatever. I believe we'll see some more, and you might know better than I, Rishaug, either tomorrow or Monday. I think we'll see it really peel off. So a lot of the guys that were kind of maybe not familiar with will be peeling off, and then we'll get down to kind of the team and maybe one practice for the two following games or 2 last games. So no, that's my answer. Nobody. Yeah,
nobody. Yeah, they got the Canucks on Sunday night at 6:00. And then Monday, Tuesday, they do not have games in Seattle and Vancouver to close out the preseason on Wednesday and on Friday of next week. And then a few days off before they get rocking and rolling against the Calgary Flames on the 8th. Want to chat a little bit about Darnell Nurse. Did a media availability earlier on today, Struds. Obviously, Nurse is part of a blue line that I think the Oilers are feeling pretty optimistic about. I think they're going to be ranked pretty high in a lot of different rankings this season as far as blue lines around the league go. And I think that's right. I mean, they've got 6-7 pretty serviceable guys, pretty good high end. And Darnell Nurse really is a big key for them this year. So if you look at the season that he had last year, 5 goals, 33 points, played 22-22, 51% Corsi 4. And it was a decent year from him, I would say. But what do you think, Struds? Like, what are you expecting from this guy this year?
Well, I mean, he's an important part of the group. I think he's a presence on the blue line. You know, I've said it on this podcast previously. He's at his best when he keeps the game simple. That doesn't mean unskilled, but it means moving the puck quickly, not trying to do too much offensively and or defensively. At times defensively, I feel like he's trying to do other people's job, and then that leaves him kind of half-assed doing his own job. And now you're in between. So I get it. It comes from a good place where he wants to, make a difference. And it's not all the time, but it's just, he just do your job and do it really well, because no one else can do it like you can when he's doing it. So I don't really, a similar maybe total of points. I'm not sure that, we're really looking for a lot different here. He's not, I don't think he's on the way down as far as age or anything like that. So are we not expecting kind of a similar type performance as last year? Would that be, wasn't a career year, was it?
No, I mean, no, the career year was the 16 goals and 36 points in 56 games. That was a big, big year for him that year. 25-38 average time on ice that year. And he was 25-03 the next year. And he's gone down 23-30, 21-54, 22-22 last year. I think probably a little bit more consistency from the start of the year right through. Just be in control of his overall game. And just make sure you're having lots and lots of good nights and just being really, really consistent. I think that's part of that's a work in progress for everybody. But I think for Nurse to be at his best, there's a little bit more consistency night in, night out, a little less sort of this kind of stuff, I would say. And, he is what he is. He's a wily veteran. I don't know how much his game is going to change at this point. But you know what? We asked him. We basically asked him that question today. So let's get to the Weiss Johnson Soundbox, brought to you by Weiss Johnson Heating and Air Conditioning. So the team over at Weiss reminds everybody this Saturday morning is the year's biggest food drive for Edmonton and area food banks. And they really want to get behind this. Check your door or mailbox for volunteer-delivered bags with instructions on when to leave food on your sidewalk. If you didn't get a bag, you can drop donations at local fire halls as well, or grocery store bins. And let's all do what we can to help stock our community food banks. No question. Randine and I did that today. And highly encourage you, if you can, to donate to the food banks. One of the great causes. This community never fails when it comes to getting together for the food banks. Shred. Some of the drives over the years have been unreal, and I think can expect the same with this one. So let's get to the Weiss Johnson Soundbox. Darnell Nurse on his own game.
Legs. When it starts with my legs, just skating. Being aggressive, obviously not over-aggressive, but, for me, when I'm standing still and, watching the game, that's not when I'm playing at my best. So for me, playing at my best is being on my toes, being aggressive, and just trusting in all the abilities and capabilities I have.
That resonate with you, Struds? Makes sense?
100%, and I like how he said not over-aggressive. And because the great thing about his athleticism and skating abilities, he can cover a lot of ground, but also it kind of gets you in trouble sometimes. Like, I think I can make it here, or I think I can do this. When in reality, it's like you just be kind of just maybe more, not passive, but more contained and just wait. Okay, we're going to go and do this or do that. So, he knows who he is. I don't really see him looking to be anything he's not. But I just keep going back to when St. Louis won that Stanley Cup, and they had Pietrangelo and Perico as kind of their second pairing D. Those guys just 8 minutes, like all what was it, 20, 25 minutes a night. And they were just monsters, took up space and just predictable 20 to 25 minutes every night.
You're muted, Charlie.
I've made a horrendous mistake. Steve, next time just bowl right over me. Like, don't even hesitate. Just bowl right over me.
Sometimes you wait till after the clip and then you call it back.
No, so. I never do that, and I'm not trying to make this your mistake. What I'm saying is if I ever do that, you just ignore whatever I say next and bring the damn thing in, folks. I apologize. You're getting full jingle tonight, because we forgot the Weiss Johnson jingle. WJJingle.com. Hit it.
Weiss Johnson, whoa. Proud to be local and family owned. Count on experience to speak for itself. With Weiss Johnson, whoa. Striving to bring you a comfortable home. Weiss Johnson, whoa.
Striving to bring you a comfortable home. They just want to make your home more comfortable. Weiss Johnson. Brownie. We have Brownie?
Hi, guys.
Brownie, I forgot the jingle, buddy. You might as well just take over and host the rest of the show. I'm voted off.
You know, mistakes happen, Shogger. You can't be perfect every night.
Can't be. Brownie, Struds and I have wheeled through a lot of what we saw in that game tonight, but we'll circle back on a couple of key elements and just get a few of your quick thoughts. So we feel that Philp had another one of those nights where he separated himself a little bit from the other people that he's competing for a spot with. What did you like about his game specifically?
The confidence that he's playing with. He's making plays. He's holding on to the puck a second longer in his own zone. He doesn't look fearful to make plays. There was a play in the first period where he got the puck just inside his own blue line. His whole group needed to change. They were exhausted. He tried getting to the red line, but he was getting cut off. And instead of just throwing it blindly and probably taking an icing, he turns back to his own zone, gets back inside his own blue line. His whole team changes, or line mates change, and then they come out and they get fresh legs off. That's a kid that's confident. Most players that are inexperienced at the NHL level, if they can't get to center, they just throw it away just so they don't get run over. He had the veteran savvy to think, oh no, I need to get my guys off the ice, and took it back into his own zone. Little plays like that show he's a very confident player right now.
That was me pointing at you, Struds, to go next. Did you see me?
No, I hear it. No, 100%. So when I look at this game, Shogger came out guns a-blazing, wanting to give a lot of credit to the goaltender, Cal Pickard.
Said two claps and a yip for. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't got a goal in yet. Like,
yeah. To be fair, you that set me off, not respecting the two claps and a woo tradition we have here, but. So, Brownie, I said I expect veterans to look good in the preseason, considering who you're playing against. Teams that are half rostered with NHL players. What would you say? And feel free to disagree with me or agree with me, because I'm probably right. But go ahead.
Well, you asked me that was a terrible Winnipeg team. Like, seriously, that was a D team. That wasn't a B or a C. Like, they have one defenseman on their team that might play for them this year. They have one line that'll play for them. And then their minor league guys aren't very good minor league guys. So the Oilers should look good against that team. I don't think Calvin Pickard was tested in this hockey game at all. I mean, good on him. He played solid. He did everything he was supposed to. But that might have been one of the worst defenses that the Oilers have played against all preseason. Like, it was a bad Winnipeg team. The Oilers were better because of the lineup that the Oilers had, but there were positives in this game that some of the Oilers players that really shown well. But Strud, yes, those players should have shown well because they played a glorified American Hockey League team today.
I just don't know how many players you could say were perfect tonight. I just thought maybe that was worth a little bit of Brownie, one of the points Struds made earlier about Ike Howard was that he's trying to find the spots and find the space and trying to find his timing. Struds, you probably explained it better, but you said, let's get Brownie's take on it. Describe what you're seeing, Struds.
Yeah. I just feel, Brownie, that, and this is perfect for you, like just finding that open ice, and because everyone's taller and faster than he would have played against in college. And I think that he's trying to figure out, and there's spots where he does get it, then others like, ooh, maybe he could have slid, a little higher, a little further away, or found his range. Do you understand what I'm saying? And are you seeing the same thing from Howard as opposed to maybe from Matt Savoy, where Matt was a year ago?
Well, yeah, I mean, any player we had that young kid on tonight that scored the first goal for the Oilers, 81, and he talked about how it's so much faster, and you don't have time, and you got to think quicker. And I think that Savoy right now looks like he understands the game better because he played in the NHL last year. He got some games. He's been to some training camps, and he understands how quick it is and how much you have to be prepared quicker, and you got to think before the puck comes. And I do believe Howard, college hockey is college hockey, but those are kids, and there's things that you could do there, and you have time to do it, and there's more space. At the National Hockey League level, you think you could be in quiet space on the ice, and all of a sudden that 6'4" defenseman closes on you pretty quickly, and you're like, oh, okay, this wasn't a quiet spot. So yeah, and the other thing too, you don't, unless you're playing with Connor or Leon or Nuge, you might find a quiet spot on the ice. Doesn't mean you're getting the puck. You got to realize who you're playing with, and then adapt to that as well. So don't go. So if you're out on the ice with, I don't know, Adam Henry, don't go stand in a quiet spot, because Adam Henry's more of a guy that's going to throw it at the net or throw it behind the net and get a kind of a cycle going. So you got to understand who you're playing with too. I thought Howard was fine tonight, but a little quieter tonight than I had seen him in the last game.
It would seem to me, Brownie, that if there's any chance for him to start the season on the roster with this team, just having good, solid nights feels like he's going to need a little bit more forward progress. I don't know how many of the last few games he's going to play. They got 4 games left, but needs to start coming out with nights where we're talking about him in similar fashion to the way we're talking about Philp, distinguishing himself against the other guys that are in the mix for those spots. He just had a nice goal on the power play. I don't want to take that away from him, but just maybe a little bit more for that to become a possibility.
Well, that's a great point, because tonight he played against 5 defensemen that aren't going to be in the NHL.
Yeah.
So, if you were ever going to shine with offensive ability, tonight would have been a night you do it, because they're only going to get better, the lineups you play against. And I really didn't see a whole lot. And this is what we talked about the other night. Savoy and Philp can get away with not creating as much offense or not having a lot of points in their stat line, because they do so many other things well defensively. They've got the trust of the coaching staff. I don't think Ike Howard has the trust of his coaching staff defensively yet. He's never had to be a good defensive player because he's always been a goal scorer. So if you're not going to be trusted defensively, well, then you better show something in the offensive zone. And again, as you said, Chugger, great power play goal, but guess what? You're never going to get that because you're not going to be on the power play because they only have 1 power play here. So you've got to do it 5-on-5. So I agree. He needs to show more, and he's got to do it quick. As you said, 3 games left, and I would imagine the Oilers will have, in 2 of those games, have a very veteran-laden lineup.
All right, that was Takeaways, brought to you by Tom Lesko and HSE Core Services, courtesy Tom Lesko's powerful breaststroke, according to Struds. Dominant in the pool. Okay, Steve, do we want to do... We'll go quick break here, and then Brownie points to Struddy's world out of the break, and then we'll keep Brownie for Take a Lap as well, if that's okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, sounds good. Quick break. Right back here on Got Your Back, presented by Timberhouse. For over 60 years, Belvedere Golf and Country Club has delivered a high-quality membership experience to Edmonton and area. And now it's even better. Drainage and irrigation improvements in 2024 have taken course conditions to a new level. This commitment to long-term sustainability means exceptional playing conditions all season long.
Belvedere's tee sheet availability is unmatched, so join now and experience golf the way it was meant to be played, on your schedule. Visit belvederegcc.com today.
So at Timberhouse, our guiding philosophy is naturally inspired living. We believe that through design, we can solve problems and enhance people's lives. We follow biophilic design principles in all of our builds to incorporate natural materials, natural light, to enhance all the spaces in a home. When you have your space perfectly reflect who you are and what you value, and it's made well, we think that that just leads to better living.
When you make a mistake, heads should roll. It's not right. And I'm here, someone has to put their foot down. Now that I say it out loud, it does sound a little crazy.
Gotta look good.
Hey, Struds. Time now
Hey.
for Struddy's World, brought to you by.
I was like, what?
That was a fail. I apologize.
No, that's okay, buddy. You had to change the sponsorship real quick. That's okay, buddy. No worries at all. So for those of you that are just listening in podcast form, Struds is staring at us awkwardly on a single shot while I'm doing the ad read. But it is brought to you, actually, by DLR Vinyl Products tonight. Ready for a deck that lasts? Well, DLR PVC decking brings you Vecca Deck and Wolf Serenity. Exclusive boards with a pure PVC core, resistant to water, mold, and insects, with a natural wood grain finish protected by UV inhibitors. Your deck stays looking new without the sanding and staining of wood. In stock now, both Edmonton and Calgary. Visit www.dlrvinylproducts.ca. If you're thinking about a new deck next season, now's the time. Let the fellas know, and you'll get her ready to rock and roll for the spring. Struddy.
I've been riding my bike quite a bit the last couple of weeks, just getting out there and trying to soak up the last few days on the trails. I just stay on the pavement. I don't go off trails. I don't want to risk injury. I'm soft. But I've noticed something that I think people are becoming more friendly. So when I ride the bike, I always give it the hey, like the head bob, or I give it the yo, or how's it going? Good morning, whatever. Just kind of give them the heads up. And I think that's important. And people have been acknowledging that. They've been like, yeah, hey buddy, like, what's up? They give me the quick. Now I'm going pretty quick, obviously. No, just kidding. But the only time I find that people don't do it is if I'm going downhill and they're going uphill. When people are going uphill, they're kind of locked in their own world. And I let that slide. But boys, I'm really happy that people are acknowledging that and saying hello as we're riding our bikes, or if someone who's running, or there's a couple walking their dog, I give them the what's up, or sometimes hello, whatever. But I feel like past years that didn't happen. So I don't know what's changed. I don't know if you guys noticed that. I know you guys are both pretty active on, oh no, you're not. But anyways, still, it's just so you know, it's like
a donkey. Okay. All right.
Do
Finish
you
your
head
thought.
bob on the golf course, guys?
Yeah, I'm a head bobber. I say hi to everybody, man. I say hi to everybody. I'm a big hello guy. That's just why not be that guy, Brownie?
Well, I am too. For two, I'm a happy person, so I always say hi. And two, I've got the worst memory ever. So when I walk by someone, I'm not sure if I know them or not. I don't want to be a jerk and not say hi to somebody I know. So I say hi to everybody. I walk my dog 3 times a day, and I walk by all these people. We always talk. So no, I agree. I think everyone's happy right now. It's right now. It's so nice out in September. Everybody you say hi to, like, they're all like, yes, I'm happy too. Hi, how are you? It's that we're outside having fun. So yeah, I think it's a really good thing to acknowledge your neighbor, say hi, and just it puts people in a good mood when someone walks by you and says, hey, how you doing? Just makes you feel good.
Steve, you ride your bike a lot.
I do, but here's the difference with the three of you, and I want you guys to be honest when I ask this question. How much of your saying hi to everyone is, these guys might recognize you? There's a lot of people in the city of Edmonton that might recognize you. You have to be a little over the top friendly. I can be a bit of a jerk, and no one's going to know unless they happen to watch this podcast. But how much of that comes into play when you guys are saying hi?
I would say a little bit more like what Brownie said, where I'm always really paranoid that I know somebody better than, in that moment I recall, and then I end up looking like a total jerk. So, but I don't want it to say that, and then my hellos feel disingenuous to people. Like, I legit would just nod and say hi to someone that I don't know as well, and I would happily do that. I'm not just saying hi to everybody, like, hi, walking into an Oiler game, like, hi. It's not, but you just don't want to snub someone that you know, Struds.
Yeah. Rapid fire of highs. No, it's a fair question, Steve. I don't feel that. Like, if I'm riding my bike, I like to go and ride my bike. If I'm going pretty hard, or even if I'm just riding, I think that's my time, right? I don't think I have to be on at that moment. Now, if I'm walking to a restaurant with someone, I'm like, hey, how's it going? But I think when you're zipping by someone on a bike, or if you're whatever, I mean, golfing's a little different because it's a little more casual. But no, I don't. I think when it's kind of like that, and not that I have a lot of my time, but that it's that time where I'm just going. Like, let's say I was hitting balls at the range, I'm kind of in the zone. I don't feel I have to look up every time someone walks by and be like, "Hey, man, how's it going? How are you?" Like, if we catch eyes, I'll be like, "Hey, what's up?" Yeah, I think that was 300. I hit that my 7-iron, but I think so. It's just different depending on that moment. But no, I don't feel that pressure to do it, especially when it's kind of like that me time. Right.
Kayla Weethorn taking this next level. So she says, saying hello to everybody and asking how they are is the norm here in Texas. I wave at every car that drives by too when I take the pups outside.
Waving
wow,
at
that
cars?
Is aggressive.
That's crazy.
Cordiality, Kayla. I'm impressed by that.
Do you guys even look at people's eyes, like in the cars? Unless I'm crossing the street, I don't even acknowledge they go by.
Yeah, but when you're crossing the street, Struds, you don't even pick up your pace. We covered that last season.
No, I do not. I do not.
Do you give a wave?
No,
when
I
you're
don't
crossing? Like, thanks for stopping. Like
Yeah, but no. So two different conversations. If the car's going parallel to me, I don't go out of my way to wave at the guy. But if they stop for me to cross, I'm not sprinting across. I have every right to take the same pace I had going across. I don't have to pick up the pace.
You absolutely have the right to do that, but you also have the right to not hold the door open for somebody. It's just, that extra.
Okay, I'm gonna show you what I do. I'm gonna show you what I do when I cross the street. Right, this is what you'll get from me. So if you're the view of the car right now, this is what I do when I cross the street. Here I go.
This is our windshield.
You flash the peace sign? Who are you, Spike Lee?
No, it's more like that. It's more like that.
What's up, yo? Yeah, that's right. I'm Ryan Rishaug,
like,
TSN.
I'm like this. I'll just be like,
yeah. But you, with that bad back, sore groin, and tight hamstrings, you're walking slow.
Golf groin.
You better flash something.
All right. That was Struddy's World, brought to you by DLR Vinyl Products. Good conversation. Well, maybe we'll get to more of that and ask us anything. See if there's any comments on that particular topic, Steve.
Sounds good.
That you can save for Ask Us Anything. Let's get to brownie points, shall we? Brought to you as we roll the happy music and the fun little animation here by the Alberta Ram Dealers. As we dive deep into the brain that is Robert Brown, we remind you the 2025 Ram 1500 is Motor Trend's Truck of the Year. Visit your Alberta Ram dealer to get into this award-winning truck at a competitive price. Capable, stylish, powerful Ram. Okay. I apologize for that misspeak. In no way is it an awkward truck. It's an awesome truck. I've been in them. My brother drives one, and it's a beauty. It is an award-winning truck at competitive prices. Oh, boy. Getting off the rails
flash
a
the
little
peace sign
tonight, boys. Yeah.
Flash
Sorry
the
about
peace
that.
sign. It'll be fine.
Sorry about that. Make everything okay. Brownie, before we get to brownie points tonight, I just want to revisit the other night. So there was some debate as to whether or not we should be waiting for you after these exhibition games. You were angry at me because it was back-to-back shows you were not part of. You docked me brownie points as a result of that. Right? I'm the boss. Yep. I need to make some decisions sometimes. I shouldn't be punished, would be my point. Right? But no, you did. You took away brownie points because it was back-to-back shows you weren't on. I know you don't listen to the show, Brownie, so I'm going to let you take a little listen to what was said immediately after you exited the show. Kill the music, Steve. Everybody listen up. Here it is.
I didn't want to lose any points, but I think we go right away on those exhibition or on those road games because old Uncle Struddy wants to go to bed earlier than 2 a.m. sometimes. So I'm all for it. Fire it up. Sorry, Brownie.
Zuby, can you clip that and text it into the group chat? What Struddy just said.
Absolutely.
Who is that?
I need to extend my lead here. I'm
Yeah,
I don't recognize
so Brownie,
that voice.
Brownie, just so you know, some of us just do what we need to do for the business, and some of us are selfish, and it's about sleep. But just consider that as you're doling out your points tonight.
Well, that does change a little bit of what I'm doing here. Let me start with, I've got 5 brownie points to Josh Brown and Tyrell Bauer for a very spirited fight in the second period in a game that lacked any real physical contact. It was nice to see a change of pace with an unbelievable fight. That was a lot of fun. I got 4 brownie points to the Oilers' young fourth line tonight with a combined 4 North American games played. I thought that Semensky, Marshala, and Yarvente all had an excellent game. They combined for 3 points and +5. And I probably should dock some points because I'm guaranteed that I mispronounced all 3 of their names there, but I'll have to wait till they're on their team to really learn them. I got 3 brownie points to Oilers' Noah Philp, who has been one of the game stars in each of the last 3 games. Another excellent game for Noah Philp. I've got -30 brownie points to the press box today at Rogers Arena because it felt like it was -30 in there tonight. I will be bringing a Tuca parka and a scarf to the next game. It was freezing in that arena tonight where I was sitting in the press box. I've got 5.5 brownie points to Team Europe in the Ryder Cup, who are up by 3 points after day 1, beating up on Donald Trump's Team USA today. Go, Rory, go. And a final one, this one was a late addition. I'm not exactly sure how many points to take away because I'm not sure what number he played or when he played in the NHL. Number 46, 48, I'm not sure. But I'm going to dock, let's just call it 47 points from my good friend Jason Strudwick for taking money out of my children's clothing allowance by not allowing me to be on my show that I was a part of all of last year. So I'm taking, what number was Struts when he played Edmonton? Anyone know? Can someone write that in so that we know? What number was
270.
he? 30?
Yeah.
200. He was 200. Well, I did see they are doing the top 100 Edmonton Oilers of all time, and I did see Struddy coming in just over 1,111. So congratulations on that.
Pick a number, Brownie. We're keeping track for the books here. You got to pick a number.
I am picking number 46. I think there's all the best Oilers for number 46. Close. So I am taking away 46 points from Jason Strudwick, and those are my brownie points.
Hope it was worth it, Struds.
I'm not sure that's me.
Well, let's listen again. Hang on.
I didn't want to lose any points, but I think we go right away on those exhibition or on those road games because old Uncle Struddy wants to go to bed earlier than 2 a.m. sometimes. So I'm all for it. Fire it up. Sorry, Brownie.
Zuby.
I don't think that's me.
Could be AI.
I think it is. Zuby did it.
Okay, Brownie, you can update us next show on how everybody's doing with the brownie points. You know what, buddy? We're getting late into the show, so we will spring you loose. We don't need you for take a lap here, buddy. You go in and get to bed, and I'll keep Struddy up a little later. You get some sleep, Brownie. You've earned it tonight.
Rest up.
Thank you very much. Bye, Shogger. Bye, Steve.
See you, buddy.
See you,
Bye,
Brownie. Oh, Struddy. That was a big swing in the brownie point. Yeah. That was a big swing in the competition.
Sometimes, there's lots of time left. We're not even at game 1 yet. You're going to make mistakes. Don't worry.
But the point is you're on his bad side early in the season here. Normally, I'm the one floating around on his bad side because we argue all the time. That did damage to you two right there. The trust.
Well, I think I'm -10 or something now. So I still got lots of time to get out of it.
All right, let's get to Take a Lap. Steve, we'll do the break after this one. Let's get to Taking a Lap, though, brought to you by the Bridge Sports Therapy. Rehabilitation at the Bridge offering a comprehensive approach that extends beyond temporary pain relief and focuses on developing long-term strength and resilience to support an active lifestyle, with clinics in Edmonton, Sherwood Park, Lethbridge, St. Albert, The Bridge, providing accessible team-based care across Alberta. Learn more at thebridge.fit. I talked about being able to get in a lift today because my arm could actually take it. Couldn't lift anything over the summer. Karen got going at it with the needles. Big improvement. Got back to the lifting today, Strud. So thanks to the Bridge.
Good. I love it.
Out of the
They're going
groin.
to fix you up. Yeah. Just from what? Well, the groin's related to the arm. The tennis elbow's related to the golf groin, for sure.
Okay, buddy, let's talk about Barkov. Tough news, man.
Just awful. Like, I know some Oilers fans, probably think, oh God, Barkov's so good. And, but you don't want to see anyone hurt. Like, this is awful. If you saw the tumble the other day, just dropped in a practice. It's something you see all the time, a compete drill, and down he goes, had to be helped off by two people. Well, today their coach, Paul Maurice, said he's out for 7 to 9 months, could miss the season. And this is humongous, like for Florida. Matthew Tkachuk's out till December. So really 2/3 of their top line is out, for a year and a half, which is just incredible, or a season and a half, I guess. So just awful. So right away, people are speculating about who might, they might backfill with that. And obviously Sidney Crosby's name came up right away to fill that void, which, I get it. I mean, that's a hell of a spot for him to slide into. But yeah, that I felt it's awful, absolutely awful for that guy.
So people were wondering what it means as far as their ability to backfill. Can he come back at playoff time? Because there's new rules in place this year. And we dug into it a little bit tonight. And essentially, here's the deal. If at the time of the injury, they deem him to be out for the entire season and the playoffs, you can basically replace the money. You can basically replace that cap hit and replace the guy, and then he doesn't come back for playoffs. If there is a chance that he's going to be back for playoffs, what you can do is a predetermined number that you can drop onto your cap. And that number is based percentage of the average salary in the league from the previous year. So $3.8 million, I believe, was the number that we were told tonight that the Panthers could add to their roster between now and the playoffs, and then Barkov could still come back. But the catch is you have to be cap compliant for every playoff game, right? So if you have $3.8 million extra in player and Barkov comes back, now none of those, you have to maneuver your cap every single game, every single day to be cap compliant. So there is relief available if Barkov is going to come back for the playoffs. There's relief available during the regular season, but then it gets tricky in the playoff stretch. These new rules, I'm telling you, man, they are going to be game changers in a couple of ways.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
No, I was just kind of counting. So October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Yes, I mean, you're getting pretty deep in there. 9 months is a long time. Now, so I recognize the rules and I hear everything you're saying, but to me, this is way different. The knee is, and because there's ACL injury, different than, let's say, a back, right? Or a groin. Like this, to me, you kind of know the window of how long it takes to heal. This isn't, not that the groin is subjective, but it's a little bit different. So if he were to come back in the playoffs, and it was last year, I wouldn't have been upset of like, hey, this guy went through hell to get back, because those knee injuries are serious. Speaking about another, it's unfortunate. It feels like we're talking about a lot of injuries in Take a Lap right now. David Reinbacher, the high first-round pick for the Montreal Canadiens, injured his knee last year in training camp and missed most of the year. He played 10 games regular season, then 13 playoffs. So 23 games total, and he broke his hand in the last game they played against Toronto Maple Leafs. So he's out a month, metatarsal bone in his hand. So he's out again now, 4 weeks now. It's not the end of the world, but for a young player trying to get his career going, you have pretty significant setback last year, Rishaug, and then you start again this year. I'm guessing he would have been in the AHL, but he's missing probably a couple weeks of the season here.
Yeah, young D there. Few guys trying to just keep themselves established and stay in there. Noah Dobson's a big ad. He's a little bit banged up right now as well. But for sure, that's a big story for them. And for a guy that trained all summer and was looking to come back and just blow the doors off and just grab this thing and take it to the next level, bit of a setback for him. So we'll see. We'll see how well he can bounce back. And this is part of life for guys and for young guys having to learn to deal with these things. And it'll be a good test for his character. And that Montreal blue line is interesting. It's interesting. There's some really talented players there. We know about them, Hudson and company. And they've got some good guys in the system. They're pretty stacked back there. So it'll be interesting to see if he can come back and get himself right into the conversation and be right there.
And finally, we know that Wall is away from the Toronto Maple Leafs for a personal matter. No one, he's know how long or nothing. So James Reiner, 37 years old, almost a 900 save percentage last year, actually, which kind of surprised me. I looked at it. He's gone to Toronto on a PTO. And when asked about it, Craig Brewery said, depth. That was his answer. So James Reiner on a PTO, what that means for him, I guess TBD with Wall, the other goaltender beside that they have there. So we'll see how it plays out, but he's familiar with the spot. He knows what it's like, and they've added something for nothing.
I was surprised, Struds, at just staying on the goaltending front, the number of people that thought the Oilers were going to grab Connor Ingram off of waivers. I got so many notes sent to me. I think one reporter somewhere put something out saying that they were going to. I didn't really bought it for a second, but did you get the same people asking you the same thing? So many people thinking the Oilers were going to grab him.
Now, I want to be careful, but I think, wasn't he like a $2.8 million cap hit or something? Did I dream that? I thought it was in and around there. So it's quite a bit for a guy that it's a bit of a wild card as far as his play. He was okay last year, coming off the personal leave to deal with some off ice issues.
Yeah, 1.95.
Sorry, so $2 million. So not awful for a backup, but I just don't think that. Yeah, I mean, maybe someone else falls on the waivers that you want to take a run at, but he wouldn't have been my first choice. No.
By the way, I was talking about those rules for playoffs about have to be cap compliant that night. How about this thought? If you're a team that has a $6 million starter and a $3.5 million backup, you could ice a better lineup by putting your $950,000 third string minor league goaltender into backup and sitting your actual backup that night. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have a backup that costs some money, you put him in the stands and you ice a lower end guy that doesn't make as much money just to sit under a ball cap that night. And now maybe you've got a better fourth line player in there or a couple million difference you can have in your lineup. How about that idea? Imagine that.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like an insurance policy, right? You don't think you need it till you actually need it. So you're in the finals and you're putting your 20-year-old goalie in there, and as a backup, if something happens to your starter, and it's scary. I mean, how often do guys get hurt? It does happen, but I guess you roll the dice.
Or how about if you wanted to make a change? You get 3 goals scored on you in the first period, and what you need to do is make a goaltending change. And you're looking down the bench like, boy, sure wish we had that other guy sitting there. I don't know. I'm not sure that it'll happen, but it's kind of interesting. But what it does create is the ideal scenario where you have a proven NHL goaltender at $1 million sitting there ready to go.
Yeah,
Calvin Pickard, right? Just another reason why Pickard in that backup position makes a lot of sense. That was Take a Lap, brought to you by The Bridge, Sports Therapy and Training. Take a quick break. When we come back, ask us anything. We have another break, right, Steve? Sorry.
Yep, a really quick one.
Okay, my bad. I'm a little bit of trouble tracking things in and out of the truck. We'll be right back. Ask Us Anything is coming up. Throw us a like, a thumbs up if you don't mind in the break, and we'll take your questions when we come back here on Got Your Back, presented by Timberhouse Developments. If you're considering a vinyl fence, don't be fooled by cheap marketplace imitations. Get top quality vinyl fence from a trusted company with 20 years in the industry. With locations in Calgary and Edmonton, check out dlrvinylproducts.ca. Steve?
Yeah. We're live, but what's up?
Oh, never mind.
It's okay.
Sorry, thought my mic was cooked.
Oh.
My bad.
You're good.
Somebody was commenting on our YouTube page. They were like, why are they always talking about what segment they're going to next? Can't they figure this stuff out ahead of time? Why are they doing that? They were super annoyed at us. So sorry. We produce on the fly here on Got Your Back. We keep it light. Time for Ask Us Anything, brought to you by Mortgages by Maria. With the Bank of Canada lowering rates, great time to look at your mortgage. Thing is, your bank only shows you their offer, but Maria, she brings you options from a whole lineup of lenders, so you get the deal that works best for you. Don't just roll over for the bank. Connect with her today at mortgagesbymaria.ca. Oh, those panels do look good, Steve.
Hey, Costco.
Really like them. Love them.
I like
And
it,
they're
buddy.
acoustic panels too, so they apparently have that effect.
You have the best voice on the pod already. You have the deepest, most dulcet tones on the pod.
Sexy.
Anyways, you don't need the soundproofing, but
fair.
Nice work.
Yeah, I put some effort in. I got a new light. I got a new camera, actually. These are subtle things that people wouldn't realize, but makes me feel better.
Looks good, buddy.
Yeah. Okay, so a lot of questions on the stream, very few of them hockey related.
Great. Love it. It's exhibition. Dive into all of them. Who cares?
If we go back to you waving at the cars, Allison says someone pulled over today while I was walking just to tell me my dog was cute. That's next level. Love that.
Oh boy,
that's nice.
I don't know if I love that.
No, that's great.
Pulled over and got out and
No,
was
just
approached them and
pulled
said,
over?
"I just want you to know your dog's really
Punked?
cute."
Holy cow, you guys! What she's saying is people are putting an effort into being nice, or they're being kind, they're being polite. This is when Struddy was talking about talking to people on the bike. Yeah.
So they'd stop. He delayed traffic to tell someone their dog was cute.
That's it. Did they get out of the car? Did they approach them? Did they get out, walk up, and be like, "Hey, you have a cute dog. I'm gonna get back in my car now and be on with my day." I don't know. That feels like that's aggressively nice, Struds.
Do they idle? Because that's burning up fuel. You know, it's illegal in some areas.
Matt
I'm not
Blom
sure about
said,
that one, Allison.
Matt Blom said, I'm pretty sure that sign from Shoggy is to offer 2 wood for 1 brick in Settlers of Catan.
Yes, it is.
And the big O said, hey, Shogger, your peace sign is actually the FU symbol in Britain.
What?
Whoa.
I think it kind of is, right? This is kind of, yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Pissing the Brits
I
off.
know in Greece, because I went to the Olympics in Greece. I was out for a walk and a guy stopped to let me go by in a vehicle, and I did this. So and apparently this is really bad in Greece. So if anyone knows what this means, I apologize, but I just got to show people. So I did this. And then went on.
dare
So
you.
apparently that
How dare you?
symbol to the Greek is no good. I had never heard of that, but I was told by one of our translators, no, you don't do that to people here.
Interesting.
The translator's still laughing about that story. He made you believe it.
Because I'm still telling it, yeah.
Yeah, that's
He's
right.
Kind of that dumb Canadian.
Neil Garrity says, does anyone else do the hop run when crossing the street in front of the car? And I can answer that for you, Neil. Yes, everybody except for Struddy, pretty much in the entire world.
Why? Why do I have to pick up my pace?
You absolutely don't have to. It's just a sign of respect.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think it is a
Just a
sign. You
little.
don't need to give her a sign of respect. You already acknowledged the person. I gave him the high-low. The wave
20%.
is a sign of respect.
What if they're in a
20%
hurry?
faster. Just pick it up a little bit. Just a
exactly.
touch.
That's all we're
Just
asking for,
acknowledging
Struds.
you've stopped. I
I
appreciate
acknowledged
it.
it. I did acknowledge it by waving, looking in the eyes, waving, hello, thank you, and then I make my way through. Why do I have to blow a hamstring to show someone a sign of respect for getting through the
20% is not going to blow a hamstring. Let's move on because we're never, ever going to agree on this. Paulie was asking Blommer, our resident Canucks fan, what his Kane expectations are for the season. But I thought I'd ask you guys, what are you expecting to see from Evander Kane, who apparently scored tonight, by the way, for the Canucks?
Yeah, an empty netter.
Oh, okay. I just saw the stats. But what do you think, Struds? What are you expecting from Kane in Vancouver this season?
Well, it's a contract year, and I would expect that he'd like to hit another contract. And for the Canucks, they probably think they can make the playoffs. But you look at this division. You've got Oilers, Vegas, and then you've got the Kings, who I think are good. Those three teams are above the Canucks. The Calgary, I think they'll still have a tough time scoring. Anaheim will be better, and I think San Jose will be better. So points will be quite as easy at the bottom. So can Canucks squeak in? Maybe they can. But I think he's going to be playing for a contract. I think he's going to have a good year. I bet you around 20 goals or so. Be physical and knowing how we know when he's at his best, guys. We've seen him play and be really good for the Oilers. So I'd say around there, Shoggy. What do you got?
22 goals and 3 spaced out fights. Couple more later in the year. That's what I'm going to say.
Giro the cat said on the chat, said 2 lawsuits leave from the team by January.
Jeez.
That was the prediction. Okay, so Paulie coming in and saying, and just asking you guys, what are you most concerned about regarding the Oilers roster this year? Flip side, what are you most excited about? And I know you guys don't get excited about the Oilers roster, but what are you looking forward to, and what concerns you about the roster this year, Struds?
I'm very excited about their decor. It's the best decor they've had underneath Connor McDavid. What I'm concerned about is their ability to integrate new players into lineup and younger players. They need to, within the next year to 18 months, have Ike Howard, Philp, and Savoy in this lineup. They need that youth in the lineup, that speed, that jump. So that's what I worry about when I can't sleep at night.
Yeah, I sleep like a baby. I would say things that I'm interested in would be, I'm interested in how big a step Stuart Skinner can take, how far he can push the quality of play during the regular season here and really firmly establish himself as a top half of the league starting goaltender for the regular season. I think that's going to be really important for them this year, for Skinner to just be really good. I think the blue line, I think they did a good job suppressing chances for the most part last year. And still the numbers in net weren't great. And this blue line is going to be even better. So I think the opportunity is going to be there for him. But Skinner, I would say. And then on the other side of that, I mean, let's see how some of these new guys fit in. Is Mangiapane going to be better than Arvidsson and or Skinner? Is Savoy going to be able to put a dent in things? Are these guys going to be able to be top 6 players for the Oilers? I think those are things that we're kind of keeping an eye on. So maybe not the right type of answer, but that's my answer.
Yep. Okay, well, let's move on to the important stuff. Growler Media Group Incorporated is wondering what's the best stuffed pasta? What do you got, Sugar? What's your favorite stuffed?
I mean, I like gnocchi. Gnocchi. But what's it stuffed with? Is it potato in there?
It's just potato on potato. That's just a piece of potato. We're talking about, you need it stuffed with some cheese or some, like a ravioli or a...
ravioli, I would say. Ravioli is really good. You got a bunch of different options you can do with it. It's a bigger pasta. Fundamentally, it can take more. I would say ravioli. Struds?
Yeah, I really like that. And that's a really good answer. But I'm not going to lie, guys. I actually prefer like a ziti with just a nice arrabbiata sauce, and then maybe I guess some cheese sprinkled over top. So if I had a choice, I'd probably go no cheese in my pasta, just maybe on it, sprinkle some parm on there.
Solid.
None of that is stuffed pasta. You just talked about a pasta.
Right. But if I had my choice, I wouldn't have, I can't remember the last time I had a stuffed pasta other than gnocchi, like blue cheese gnocchi. Oof.
Okay. So gnocchi stuffed with blue cheese.
Yeah. Or blue cheese on it. So it's so good.
Well, we tried Zuby, and there was some chat tonight. Some talk in the chat about when we were talking about Sean Avery on Shoresy and what a great job he did. But my son has been very excited that the cast of Shoresy is coming to Edmonton to play against Oilers alumni. Have you been approached yet, Struds, to partake in that game?
No, you know what's funny? I saw it on like a Rogers Place ad that Shoresy's coming to play against alumni. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I love that show.
Yeah,
I would
how
love
fun
to
will
get
that
in
be?
there and chirp those guys.
Yeah, TR will be playing, right?
Yeah, middle to end of January, somewhere in there. So, I don't know. I started training. That's why I'm riding my bike. I got to get in shape here to be able to keep up with TR. And
The problem is he couldn't make either team right now. So it's the Oilers aren't needing him, and Shorzy screwed. TR is a friend of the show, obviously. He became quite the character on that show. He got a lot of lines. Yeah. He became a pretty significant character on that show, hey?
If you haven't watched that show, stop what you're doing. They're fantastic. It's like they're short, quick hitters. They're so well done. If you've played any level of hockey, it'll hit you on so many different levels.
Yeah.
Okay, red flag to me. We're going over 90 minutes on a preseason pod, so that's my bad, which means we're wrapping up Ask Us Anything and getting on to our mainline play of the day. Brought to you by Mainline Water and Sewer, your trusted choice for over 40 years, specializing in sewer line replacement and expert water line repair and replacement. Slow drains are a sign it's time for attention, and aging lines can cause basement backups. Their trenchless method is quick, low impact, and often finished in a day, complete with backflow protection. Visit mainlinewaterandsewer.ca. Did you have something in mind, Struds?
I did, and I'm going to go back to the Oilers game. Up the rush, Stetcher goes, turns quickly, passes it up to Philp, who makes a really nice play to kind of shoot it through a group of people on the far side shell for his goal. Really impressed with his game tonight, impressed with his previous game. Scoring, although I don't know that the scoring is needed for him to make the team, but I think it's definitely a nice bonus just to let people know he can score and keep his confidence up there.
Yeah, completely agree. Honorable mention today to Jack Michaels. So Stauffer asked me about a fight I was in junior today at the rink. And so I told him some information about it. And then somebody calls up a fight of me on YouTube. So now the media group down there is watching a video of me just getting the wheels beaten off of me in a fight. And Gene Principe, love you, Gene, but he takes a video of us watching the video and sends it to a group chat that has Struds and Lou and a bunch of guys in. So what it looks like to Struds is like I'm running around showing everybody fight videos of mine when I was in junior, trying to impress people, right? So I'm like, Gene, why are you sending that? Now it looks bad, like I'm trying to, And I was worried about that. I said, Struds is going to make fun of me. So then Jack Michaels texts into the group, hey, Struds, Rishaug is showing us all his fights on YouTube. Was he tougher than you? Struds, that's not what happened. Somebody else brought it up. I wasn't walking around saying, hey, look at me getting beat up. That's not what it was. I'm surprised you didn't bring it up tonight.
No, I wouldn't. And we have a subsequent group chat without you in it. And Gene, Bob, and Jack all agreed that what you did is actually what you did. So
you guys can't have a group chat without me. You don't really, do you? That's not okay. Can you add me? Add me right now. Add me.
I'll add you. Yeah. Hold on. What's your phone number again? Yeah, I got it. Oh, you're in.
Yeah. Steve, can I call an audible on the rap music tonight?
100%. Yeah.
Can we wrap up with the retro tune?
Let's do
retro.
I think we need to give it to people. That was the play of the day brought to you by Mainline Water and Sewer. Thanks so much to everybody for joining us on the live stream. We're getting great numbers on this thing. We're an exhibition play, and still we're getting hundreds of people joining us on the live stream, lots of people downloading, subscribing. So please continue to do that. Tell your friends if you don't mind. Maybe even drop us a review over on iTunes if you get a chance. We would appreciate that. Going to take Saturday off. Oilers and the Canucks Sunday night. We'll drop a post-game pod then. Great job tonight, boys. Thank you.
Good times. Talk to you guys then.
Good night, boys.
All right. Steve, let this retro action breathe a little before you shut us down. Good night, everybody. It's a banger.
Good timing there.